Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. We're glad you're here for today's webinar, Global Getaways, UAB Alumni Travel Preview with Collette. I'm Greg Berry, Director of Communications in the Office of Alumni Affairs. A disclaimer, as with any virtual event, occasional technical hiccups may occur or flubs from your host. If you experience any video or audio issues, simply click reconnect or refresh your screen to return to the presentation quickly. Now, before we dive into our upcoming trips, a quick question to start things off. Since these are group tour offerings, we want to know what excites you most about group travel. Is it traveling with fellow alumni, avoiding the planning and having someone else handle the logistics, getting the chance to have expert guides on your tour, or experiencing new things with new people? Take a moment and pick the answer that best fits you. Just a heads up, we are recording today's webinar. We're going to be sending an email recap to our live audience once that link is ready. Today, we have Jack Brinson back with us, Collette Senior Business Development Manager for Alabama, South Georgia, and Northwest Florida. He's been with Collette for nearly 2 decades and has traveled to more than 50 countries on, I believe, 6 continents. It might be 7 at this point. We'll let Jack introduce himself here in a moment or two. Now for the results of that question. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll. What excites you most about group travel? 56% of our audience selected having logistics handled for you. 28% say expert guides and local insight. Let's clear that real quick. Thanks for sharing your responses. Before we toss things over to Jack, another question, and that is, when choosing a group tour, what factor matters most to you? You see the answers on your screen. Is it the pace of itinerary, number of included activities, price and value, free time versus structured time, or the size of the group? Go ahead and make your selection. We'll share the results in the chat for you later on. At this time, Jack, welcome back. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Thank you for having me, and thank you all for tuning in. As Greg mentioned, I have been with Collette. This is 19 years, going on 20, and been to 6 of the 7 continents. Antarctica is the only one that I have not yet planned, because my company will not let me be gone 20 days. So we'll figure that one out at some point. But to tell you a little bit about Collette, we've been around 108 years, since 1918. And our very first trip was a 21-day trip to Florida. And that trip cost $61.50. And we've been in business ever since then. We give away the trips on Wheel of Fortune and are a major contributor on the Hallmark channel as well. So you probably recognized our logo there. We've got a relationship with Wheel for nearly 30 years. And Pat and Vanna, up until now, Maggie Sajak is even going on our tours. And again, debt-free family-owned company in our 3rd generation. Our product is unique because it is designed by travelers for travelers. And what that means to you is our product teams, they live in the areas they design the product in. Our tour managers live in the areas they guide in. So you get a local perspective on any of our tours, not an American telling you what we think you would like to see in a destination. So part of our premium experience, our tours are designed by local experts. We try to minimize the one-night stays, and we go above and beyond the guidebook, so to speak. So our guides, they know where everything's at, off the beaten path, and God forbid, even including hospitals, etc. So they know where everything is at. Our experience will also tailor to a hometown pickup for those of you doing our air packages and, of course, our travel protection plan. So a couple of things about that. So all of the transportation in destination is handled for you. And so we pick you up at the airport. We load your bags onto the motor coach. We take you to the hotel. We go in, get your hotel keys, bring them out to you. We take your bags to your room. You do not think when you go on these tours, and everything is done for you. And we also try to, again, minimize the one-night stays. We give you a nice balance of choice on tour, which are included options. You basically pick the type of activity for that day. And then as far as the cultural experiences, sometimes we may have a better experience that might be suited for you. It might be a walking tour, or it might be a riding tour. It might be a museum, etc. And so basically you pick from those unique experiences. We're going to talk about a few tours today. So Iceland's Magical Northern Lights. This is a 7-day program. This tour continually sells out. It's the only destination to beat out Ireland as the #1 selling destination in the world. And it did that for 5 years in a row. And now Ireland is back at #1 and Iceland somewhere around 3 or 4 as far as the top destinations to travel in the world. So this is a 7-day program, 11 meals. A lot of folks like this because there's just 2 hotels involved. And you can fly in and out of Reykjavík on this trip, roughly a 5 to 6 hour flight on average as far as that flight time goes. And sometimes it may be a little longer depending on where we have to route you through, but it's much shorter than going into Europe. You actually fly over Iceland to get into Europe. This is a classic style tour. 37 passengers will be the average. We will cap it at 44, but the average group size is 37. And the activity level, as most of Europe, is an activity level of 3. They don't recognize ADA or anything like that. That's why most of Europe is an activity level of 3. But the most important part to understand is walking up to 2.5 hours on your tours. So it's not an all-day, everyday regimented style tour. It's a balance of free time to touring, and we'll either tour in the morning, have the afternoon off, or vice versa. Our tour managers are exceptional. Luciana is one of our exceptional guides that guides this area. I follow her on Facebook and whatnot. I learned so much from her, and she brings up things that I didn't even know. And like I said, this is her bread and butter. She does all of the Nordic countries, including Finland and other areas. And so she is absolutely exceptional as far as that goes. They know the language. They know everything there is to know about the areas that you're going to be visiting. The Northern Lights, the anomaly, aurora borealis, it's a combination of things between the gases in the atmosphere and the sun reflecting off the lights, etc. But it's on an 11-year cycle. So it cycles in and it cycles out over those 11 years. And the year of the clearest air is this year, and next year is supposed to have the best visibility as far as that goes. So a lot of folks are clamoring to go see the Northern Lights. Every one of our dates sell out as a result of it, and Iceland tends to be the more popular of the places to view the Northern Lights because you have a lot of less ambient lighting from cities and other things like that. And so that's why this area tends to be more popular in that regard. So travel tips. It's 4 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, so 5 hours ahead of Central. Long twilights as far as that goes. Definitely pack in layers. The currency, as you can see, one US dollar equals 138 Icelandic krona. Don't you worry. They have accounted for that, so the prices of everything are pretty expensive over there, although they take credit cards everywhere, so it kind of makes up for some of that as far as getting a lot of local currency. So you'll arrive into Reykjavík typically early in the morning. You'll be there, and you'll have all day to explore. I will tell you, this area, it doesn't look like your mind probably painted the picture. Iceland is not a desolate place. It is not that at all. Imagine going to an island. You don't see any trees, but it's also not frozen all year round. And you'll see in just a little bit how beautiful this area is. And a lot of these pictures were taken during the Northern Light season. But Reykjavík means smoky bay because of the steam from the hot springs, the Sky Lagoon, Blue Lagoon, and Spring Lagoon. And so you'll get to know Reykjavík. So the picture here to my left is of a church called Hallgrímskirkja. It mimics the shape of an iceberg, meaning you only see about 10% of it, and you will get a chance to tour it along with the rest of the town. And then, of course, we're going to take you out at night for the Northern Lights. So this tour, you get kind of twofold. You get your city tours during the day, you get your free time during the day, but then also at night, we're going to go out specifically looking for aurora. So this is what the town looks like itself. And as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. And a lot of folks when they get there, they beeline it over and try to get one of those amazing hot dogs. Probably the second best hot dog I've had in Europe. The best is going to be in Bergen, the reindeer hot dog, but this is a good second choice. So we do take you out on a cruise at night after we go to dinner, and then obviously, weather permitting, if the weather's good, we'll take you out and look at aurora. So we're going to travel the Golden Circle, and what we're going to do en route to Vik, we're going to stop and see a couple of the geysers. We're going to see Golden Falls or Gulfus and Thingvellir National Park, and then, of course, searching for the Northern Lights. So this is going to be a beautiful day for you. And so Foss is fall, so Gull is golden, so Golden Falls. Probably one of the more photographed areas that you'll experience anywhere in the world as far as waterfalls go. And so that is going to be a very beautiful experience. From there, we're going to take you to Thingvellir National Park. You'll get a chance to see this beautiful area. It was discovered around 980. And the unique thing about this national park is you'll get to see the beginning of two tectonic plates of the mid-Atlantic ridge, where they come together and they push apart of the mid-ocean ridge and expand the Atlantic Ocean by 1 inch every year. And you get to stand there above the waterline and experience that. And so this particular ridge, it expands from this point all the way to the southern tip of Africa, about 10,000 miles. So pretty remarkable. And people will actually snorkel and scuba dive between those two tectonic plates. And so it's pretty interesting. Other things that you'll get a chance to experience is the Lava Exhibition Center. While you're there, we will make a stop there and then head out to see more waterfalls. So en route, we're going to be staying in Vik, and you will get a chance to go out every single night and see aurora. The other thing that we're going to do in this area is you can set your wake-up call if you wish. They have an app that you can download called Aurora Watch, and you can experience it that way, where it lets you know if it's active outside. You can tell the front desk to set an alert when that is going on, and then you can go out and check out the lights. This is your hotel accommodations, what it looks like, and the scenery around it, and why we picked that particular area. And so from there, we're going to travel the coastline and visit the Black Beach Skoger Folk Museum, Skogafoss, another waterfall, and then, of course, the beautiful glacier. And so we've got a few of that we are going to experience. So one of the things we're going to experience is the Black Beach. It has the same exact anomaly that happens in Northern Ireland at Giant's Causeway. And so you will get a chance to see that here. Folks do pick up the stones off the beach. Just know that if you do that, you're going to have to lie to the folks at TSA whenever they ask you, are you bringing in foreign substances or rocks, etc. So I'll leave that between you and them as far as that goes. And so a lot of folks will end up picking up one because they're beautiful and shiny and whatnot. I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. So we're going to travel along the coast, and I'm going to break this word up for you because the language gets kind of confusing. So to break it up, it's deer, D-E-E-R is basically how it's pronounced, ho, and then la, hey. You don't see an A at the end, but deer, la, hey. And that is the arch that you're going to see along the coastline. And from there, we'll also travel out to the Skoger Folk Museum and visit Skogafoss. So that's the beautiful waterfall there, as well as the amazing glacier. Do you have to walk up on the glacier like some of those folks? No, you absolutely do not. You can be like the folks at the bottom of the picture there. And so that is up to you as far as that goes. And then, of course, experiencing the glacier, this is where they ask you to either have waterproof boots or those crampons, and we'll have those laid out for you in your travel documents. Folks end up buying them. They basically just clamp on your existing shoes. It keeps your feet from sinking into the snow. If you want to go that close and experience it from this picture point here. You can take this near the motor coach if you wish, but some folks, they want to get up and close to this beautiful area. Obviously, we're going to take you out at night to experience the amazing aurora borealis and take some awesome pictures of it. We are going to take you out and experience the glacial lagoon. And I will tell you, that's going to be an amazing experience for you. It's just to get out there and see this. But the national park is unbelievable. And I will tell you, when you go out to this area, there are going to be several different vantage points to take pictures. And you will have an opportunity to make some stops and take those pictures. So another word phrasing here. It looks very complicated. So that, na, the J-O makes a ya, yokel. Vatnajökull National Park. So the J with the O with the 2 dots is a yokel National Park. And so we are going to experience that. And then we are also going to experience the glacial lagoon. So again, the J with the 2 O's, with the O with the 2 dots is Yaku Sarlon. And that is how you pronounce the glacial lagoon. And the water is so clear, you can actually see the bottom part of the icebergs. The ice is so clear, you can see it too. It looks like diamonds. They actually call it Diamond Beach. And again, bring you back out in the evening time to experience the Northern Lights. En route back to Reykjavík, we are going to make a stop at one of the lagoons. We either stop at Sky Lagoon, or we stop at Spring Lagoon, or the Blue Lagoon. So we will experience one of those 3. And it's indoor, outdoor. They do provide towels, so you can experience that. You can even buy the mud if you want to buy that. But I always tell people just lather up in it for free when you're in the lagoon. So I do have a few videos. Sometimes they'll play, sometimes they won't. If it doesn't, I apologize. And it did not play. So just take my word for it. It basically just highlights the area you just visit. It canvases it in a nutshell. You'll have your very nice welcome or farewell dinner. And then, of course, you will then depart out. But the hot dogs, as I mentioned earlier, is a staple, and many restaurants have them. The food, a lot of it is done in greenhouses, so a lot of tomatoes, etc. If you are used to, let's say, not buttering and salting up your food, the food there will taste a little bland to you. But if you're a health nut, you eat a lot of salads and whatnot, the food will taste great to you. So just to prepare you from that regard. So your tour will end and then you'll depart out. Some folks elect to arrive in a day early. Some folks elect to stay a couple of days at the very end and maybe take a flight tour out to some of the lava fields, do a biking tour along the coast. You can basically do what you want at the end of the tour if you like. I like it at the end versus the beginning because at the end, you've already kind of seen what you're going to see and you can kind of go back and pick what you want to do after that. But that's up to you. So the next tour will be Hawaiian Adventure. It's 10 days, 14 meals. You can honestly say you're going to the big 3, the 3 islands. And so you're starting in Oahu, and then you're going to the Big Island, and then up to Maui at the very end. 3 and 3. Classic style tour. It's 37 passengers. Again, is the average activity level of 1. You can't get more leisurely pace than that. And so up to 1 hour at a relaxed pace. And so the highest elevation you'll experience on this trip will be 3,800 feet. The time zone is 5 hours behind Eastern Standard, 6 hours behind daylight savings, so 5 hours behind daylight savings time for Central. Our tour managers are exceptional. Again, I can't say enough nice things about it. Chuck was actually my tour manager when I did this 2 years ago, and it's amazing the language. They have so few letters, and so the redundancy of the consonants and vowels are pretty amazing, and you'll see throughout the trip as far as that goes. So you'll arrive into Hawaii, and you're staying at the Prince Waikiki. This picture right here was taken the top of Diamond Head. So you can actually hike up there if you wish during free time. I did it at sunrise one morning, and you take an Uber from the hotel and they take you out to it. You can just follow the flashlights, literally just go up at the top if you want to do that. But you get this picture if you do that. So fun fact, the word aloha both means hello and goodbye. So it's a very flexible greeting. The Prince Waikiki is an amazing hotel. It's right at the end of Waikiki Beach, and it's right next to where they filmed the intro to Gilligan's Island. So every time I walked by in the morning, I would hear the song, just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a faithful trip. Literally, you were looking at that same view from the beginning of Gilligan's Island. So that is taken right there by the hotel. Food trucks are everywhere. That's an acceptable form of meals, and believe it or not, they are exceptional over there, and they love their garlic shrimp. So that's where you get that near the hotel if you wish to do that. So you will go out to and visit Pearl Harbor on this tour. And you will not only go to the museums, you'll see the famous speech, a date which will live in infamy. You'll see that famous speech. You'll then board your vessel. It takes about 10 minutes to get across there, 15 minutes sometimes, depending on the traffic. And then you'll go out and you will board the memorial for the USS Arizona. You'll see where the U.S. entered and finished World War II. So you will get a chance to go and see that. Amazing experience. I can't tell you, not a word is spoken when you get out there, but a great way to start your day and to experience that. And then from there, we do a city tour of Honolulu. And so again, with the redundancy, as far as the famous kings and all go, you'll get a chance to learn all about them. And you'll learn how it was a takeover. Basically, the U.S. took over Hawaii, and that's why a lot of the locals, they don't really think too fondly of Americans, not Americans in general, but our government, et cetera, as a whole. And so you'll have free time to experience the beach, going into the Waikiki Strip or going out for a nice stroll. We are going to visit the Iolani Palace, and that's where the takeover took place as far as that goes. Right out front is one of their famous kings. So I'm going to try to say this without butchering it. So King Kamehameha is how you say his name. And so, again, with the redundancy of the consonants and vowels, I believe their alphabet is only it's either 14 or 11 total letters. So it's kind of interesting to learn about that. But you'll explore free time in downtown Honolulu, and you'll get a chance to see the American fusion and Asian flavors. We will take you out and show you some famous lookout points. So Pali is one of the amazing lookout points. You'll see how it's a crater of a volcano there. And then from there, we take you to the Big Island. So roughly, it's a 50-minute flight from where you're at in Oahu to the Big Island. So roughly a 50-minute flight. Collette handles all of that for you. There are no baggage fees, in case anyone is wondering about that. And so we go in, we get the airline tickets, we hand them to you. You basically walk through the metal detectors, board your flight, and it's a 50-minute flight to the Big Island. And then, of course, you'll learn about surfing. So they invented surfing down there. They actually have a word for it. It's hi'i nalu, which means wave sliding. And so you'll experience a lot of the beautiful waterfalls, but Rainbow Falls is one of the first stops. So at the Big Island, we are going to make a few stops. One of them is going to be Kilauea. And believe it or not, where you're flying into the Big Island, you actually go down to what we consider the southernmost point of the United States. I know Key West is technically the southernmost part of the continental United States, but the southernmost part of the U.S. is the Big Island of Hawaii, and it is the bottom part. You come within 5 miles of it. So Kilauea is the beautiful crater there. You'll see all of the big steam outlets in the crevices and whatnot. So you will experience all of that in Volcanoes National Park. And then we take you and show you the Sea Turtle Bay, get a chance to go and see it. And then you're staying at the Outrigger Kona Resort. When you arrive at this resort, you'll notice off in the bay area there, a lot of flashlights going around in the water and spotlights going in the water and boats of people. And they are actually swimming with manta rays. And so you can do that from the hotel. You can actually purchase tickets and go do that. I did it when I was there one night, perfectly safe to do, and went swim with the manta rays. And you're all floating, holding on to basically a floating gurney, and they just swim all around you. So it's a very unique experience. And again, another view from your hotel at Kona. We are going to take you out and experience the town of Kona. You'll learn the art of lei making. And so it's a symbol of affection. And so you'll get a chance to understand more of it with your class there. You'll also experience a traditional luau. The important thing to know about luau's, rain or shine, they take place no matter what. And a lot of food. And then from there, we're going to take you to a coffee farm, Kona Coffee. Don't worry, there's coffee. I mean, there's Kona beer as well. You get a chance to experience that. But you'll also get a chance to go in one of the oldest churches that's there, St. Benedict's Painted Church. You will go inside and have some nice time to reflect there. So we are going to take you to a famous national park. We're going to make a very nice stop there, get a chance to walk in some of the teepees. We'll get a chance to go, or they call them teepees. They're not really teepees. They're other types of huts. And the other thing that's important to know about these Maori people is the same Maori that you'll see in the South Island of New Zealand. They all came from French Polynesia, and some rode in the direction of Hawaii, some rode into the direction of New Zealand. So that's why they both share the haka and a lot of the other similar characteristics. I would venture to say they are the close cousins of one another. Arrive into Maui, you have amazing views from your hotel, and we are going to start off with the Iao Needle, and you get a chance to go and see this area. They filmed a lot of movies here, including Jurassic Park, certain scenes from here, but most of the scenes, the helicopter scenes, etc., were actually filmed in Kauai, the other island, the fourth island. So this is your hotel, the Sheraton Maui Hotel and Spa. Amazing location, in my opinion. A lot of the beach is right there. The sea turtles congregate right there at that beach, so you can actually swim alongside of sea turtles. And they provide snorkel gear and all of that for you. And if you want to rent scuba gear, they can certainly do that for you also. A lot of golf courses on the front side of this hotel as well. So pretty amazing as far as that goes. A lot of amenities, and a lot of whales are out there every day. Resident whale pods you'll see out there as well. There's an optional excursion to do the road to Hana. If you are, if you are wanting to do this option, they cap it at 20 people. So the first 20 people that sign up for this trip get to do the road to Hana. It's an all-day excursion. You're going to make stops at all the cabanas on the sides of the roads, get a chance to try that banana bread, and the ultimate coconut experience awaits you as far as that goes. It's exceptional. And then, of course, see the Volcano Beach. And then, of course, bring you back in and have free time in Maui. There's even a sailboat that goes around that cruises out. You can look out and see Lahaina. You can go out and see Molokai. You can also go out. There is a beautiful crater island that you can experience as well, just giving you some free time ideas. And so they even have pickleball and other things that you can do. So on day 10, the tour will end and you will reluctantly come home. Like I said, the flight time from the Big Island to Maui is about 32 minutes. So it's a pretty short flight. And you'll actually fly over the crater. It'll be on the right side of the plane when you're heading up to through that beautiful area. Other tours we're going to talk about, Irish Splendor. So this is an 8-day program in and out of Dublin, and roughly 8-hour flight overnight. You arrive into the fair city of Dublin. You can see multiple night stays. Classic style tour, again, 37 passengers, activity level of 1. So another activity level 1. So up to 1 hour to relax pace. So you'll arrive in the day of. This is O'Connell Street, Grafton Street. All of those are the shopping areas, all within walking distance from your hotel. You can exchange money at any of the banks that are near the hotel. And a lot of folks that first day, they'll actually go over to Trinity College, which is walking distance from your hotel, and see the Book of Kells, Ireland's foundation in Gaelic, as well as you'll also get a chance to see Ireland's oldest harp, which is the nation's symbol. This is the Oscar Wilde statue, so we'll make a brief stop there. We'll also do an introduction into the Georgian townhouses and the architecture. We'll also go over the Celtic tiger, which was their economic boom. That afternoon, you do have an optional excursion to experience, number one of the local Irish pubs for dinner, and then we take you into the Guinness storehouse, and you'll learn how Arthur Guinness inherited $100 from his uncle, leased a distillery for 9,000 years at $46 a year, and you'll see the lease in there, and you'll also get a chance to, at the very end, pour the perfect pint. It's a 3-step process, and you'll get a chance to experience that. Another thing to realize about Ireland, only 18 degrees separates the hottest day of the year from the coldest day of the year, and which is why it's green all year round. And so the beautiful Irish countryside. We're going to make a brief stop at the Rock of Cashel, where St. Patrick banished Satan from the region all those years ago. So in Ireland, it's important to note they had a civil war like we did. There's North and South like we have. And their war was fought over religion. So Northern Ireland identifies more with Protestant beliefs. So they align themselves with England, Scotland, and Wales. And the Republic of Ireland is Catholic. And so the Protestants are in the north. When you lump in Northern Ireland with England, Scotland, Wales, you now have the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So now you have the Rock of Cashel. You'll visit this area before we then head en route to Blarney Castle. Yes, you will get a chance to kiss the Blarney Stone. It gives you the gift of gab, the gift of eloquent speech, gift of eloquence. And they do disinfect it between every kiss. They know we're germaphobes now coming out of COVID, so it's important to note that if that is concern for you. And then that evening, you'll have a very nice dinner in Killarney. Also in the center of town, you'll notice the Irish jaunts are located there. So it's basically a percher-on horse pulling a covered wagon. You basically just have a seat on there, and they take you out into the countryside. You can go to the Macros House or Killarney National Park, etc. Just giving you some free time suggestions. The next day, we're going to visit the Dingle Peninsula. We're going to stay out that area all day, the most beautiful part of the Kerry region. And so you'll have the Blasket Center, or you can go to a local pottery workshop. It's a choice on tour. You pick one or the other. So the Blasket Center, learn all about the local culture and, of course, the Viking influence in this area. And then, of course, the Pottery Museum as well. So pretty interesting to be able to go and experience that. From there, we're going to take you to the Cliffs of Moher, 700 feet above the Atlantic and the westernmost point of Ireland. And doesn't matter if it looks like this or if it's overcast, you're going to get an amazing experience. Doesn't matter when you, like I said, what the conditions are. It is beautiful. And from there, we're going to take you into Ennis, where you'll be spending the night. There is an optional excursion to do the medieval banquet. You go to a real castle. Typically, it's the Bunratty Castle, but you'll go to a real castle, and you'll have a medieval banquet. So you'll have food galore, you'll have mead, you'll have performances, you'll have singing, dancing, etc. Some folks want a nice quiet meal on their own. Some folks want a little more structure during free time, and this is what you would do if you wanted that structure. The next day, we're going to take you to a whiskey distillery. You'll learn all about the whiskey and how different amounts of water makes it sweeter, and learn all about Irish coffee and whatnot. but you'll also get a chance to have some nice pairings and whatnot. But I will tell you, if you do not pace yourself, you will not finish the afternoon. We're going to cap off this tour staying in an amazing 4-star castle, and they have a golf course attached to it. It's a walking course, 9-hole golf course. You will have your farewell dinner in the castle. No, you do not have to dress up. And you will also, at the end of the tour, it does lend itself if you want to stay an extra night at the castle. And you will clear customs in Ireland before you come home. So that's another unique feature about that trip. Ireland's the #1 selling destination in the company, so you can't go wrong with Ireland. So that is it for Ireland. Next is highlights of Norway. So this tour will have a little bit of redundancy if you opt to do Iceland at the very end. I have some folks that'll do one tour and they'll come back and they'll do Iceland again because they want to see it during the summertime. And so you can honestly say you've done Norway at this point. You're going to hit all of the highlights. We also have a winter program that folks will come back and do as well. That basically does a loop around the entire country as well as Sweden, etc. So you've got a nice loop around the area. But I did this tour in 2019. I went back last year and did the rest of Scandinavia with it. And I will tell you, both times I've done this, Norway is my favorite. Classic tour, 37 passengers is the average. Activity level is 2. And we're going to start off on this tour in Bergen. And your hotel, believe it or not, is just at the end of this amazing strip where all of the iconic houses are. It's literally right at the end. So you can walk out and just go left and you'll get there. So Bergen, you'll get a chance to do a city tour of it. These are those old houses I was mentioning there. And it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Your hotel is literally just out of the picture to the left. And so you get a nice view of the area, the beautiful fish market there, and then the funicular that goes up, which you will also experience. And you'll do an evening walking tour. You'll have dinner at a local restaurant. You'll get a chance to try that Norwegian brown cheese. And I will tell you, too, they smear it on waffles with lingonberry and cream. And so it makes a very nice breakfast. So I know it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, you got to try it. And it'll probably be one of your favorite parts. But we are, while we're there, also going to experience the Norfolk Museum. And you'll get a chance to do a walking tour through it. It's an outside experience. You'll see a lot of the instruments and the tools that they use inside the building. But the outside of it is an outside walking experience. So you're going to get a chance to go into the schoolhouse. You'll get a chance to go into the barns, the blacksmith area. You'll get a chance to experience all of it. From there, we'll travel into Loen, and this will probably be one of your favorite areas. You're in the fjord region of Norway, and you will get a chance to go out and experience the fjords. So this fjord here has a very interesting spelling, but it's called Geiranger Fjord. Geiranger Fjord is how they say it. One of the most popular fjords. You'll see the Bride Vale and you'll see Seven Sisters. You'll see all of the famous waterfalls there, but you will do a cruise of this fjord. And so you see Seven Sisters and of course Bride Vale and whatnot, but you will get a chance to experience all of that on this amazing journey. And you'll basically go in and then you'll turn around and come back and you are heading out back into Loen. I have pictures of doing this last summer, going up this sky lift. It's one of the steepest sky lifts I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, it's like this, and I am petrified of heights. So I stood in the middle of it going up, and also at 11 o'clock at night. They run it till 11:30-ish at night, but 11 o'clock at night, it looked like it was 7:30 in the evening. And so this is where all of the pictures on like cruise lines of that do Scandinavia and other, this is where that picture is taken at the top of this. And you'll see people that will be not skydiving, but paragliding off of the side of this thing and going through the fjords there and landing in different spots. This will be, to do this, I'm telling you, it's totally worth it. Coming from someone that is very afraid of heights, this is an exceptional view at the top of this. I will also tell you, your hotel is probably going to be one of the best meals on the entire trip, and it is at your hotel. We try to get you out in the community to experience that everywhere we go, but trust me, you'll want your meal at the hotel there. I'll put it like this. It was so good. We went outside after dinner, and the Nordic royal family, the Norwegian family from Oslo, docked their boat and had dinner in the same hotel. It's good enough for them. So you'll get a chance to see more of that area in Loen. And they also have indoor, outdoor pools, heated, etc. So if you want to get out there and experience that, you certainly can. But Flom is another amazing part of this trip. You will get a chance to experience the Flom Railway. It's wooden cars on the inside. We're going to make a couple of stops. We'll stop at some at the main station, and then you'll get out. You'll get a chance to see the waterfalls. You can stop at the waterfall and get out there. And then they basically turn around and come back. So that'll be a very nice experience for you to experience the Flom Railway. So believe it or not, Norway is known for their clothing for extreme conditions, as you can imagine. It's known for the cheese, but it's also known for their trolls. And believe it or not, their cheese cutters are what they're known for. So people expend $100 on a cheese cutter. Not me. My wife did. And from there, we're going to stop at one of the stave churches. There's over 23 of these amazing churches, but the Borgen Stave Church. And they get it to look this way. They actually burn it. They actually burn it with flames to get it to look like that. There's 23 of them, and they are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And yes, you will go inside and tour it. From there, we take you into Oslo. One of the most remarkable things you'll notice when you first get to Oslo is those polar plunge huts. They're a lot of them move. You know, they're free moving, and they're a sauna on the inside. People then head outside. They jump into the frigid water and then go back inside and warm back up. And they do that all day long. You'll see those everywhere. You'll also get a chance to, while you're there, you'll see the opera house. You'll see, again, their food trucks and whatnot that's there. The food is exceptional, like I said. You'll even see one of the long jumps for the Olympics. Then you'll also experience the Fram Museum. It was a Nordic vessel that went and circled around the Arctic Circle. You'll also see out there are two other ones. There's a Viking museum, or a ship museum, I should say, and it does have Viking ships in there as well. And then the Kentucky Museum, the guy that built the raft, the multimillionaire that built a raft and basically sailed it across the Atlantic. You'll see the raft, the Kentucky raft, in there, just behind the Fram Museum. So you remember that royal family that I was telling you about earlier? This is their royal palace. So you'll see it, the changing of the guards and all that will be there. And then you'll get a chance to experience the royal palace, walking along the gardens and everything else, and walking down into the city. Like I said, there's so much to see and do in Norway. Absolutely love this trip. Trust me, this area of the world, it needs more representation, and you'll see when you go on it, it is a hidden gem of a destination to travel to. So you can add a pre-night stay in Norway if you wish, or you can then do the extension to Iceland at the other end. And so again, that is a hosted 4-day extension at the other end if you wish to do so. I'm going to highlight a couple more tours that are on the horizon that have not been released yet. One of them will be the Spotlight on the French Riviera, 1 hotel stay. People love that about this trip. So 7 nights in the French Riviera in Nice, right there at the promenade, and you go out each day and you come back to 1 hotel. And there is a Paris extension at the very end. Again, Spotlight Hotel, 1 hotel, 37 passengers is the average. And other things about this trip, activity level of 3, as is most of Europe. So you'll arrive into Nice. This is your hotel, the Radisson Blue, and right there on the promenade. You will experience on this trip, you'll experience the flower markets. You will get a chance to walk the open air markets as well as experience the local flavors such as the macaroons there. You will also experience the promenade and the art galleries. So some of them are free to enter. Some of them, as far as the art galleries go, they are pay, but they're minimal. And but the promenade is amazing to walk around on. We're going to take you to the playground of the rich and famous in Monaco and get a chance to see the Rothschild Villa and Gardens, the changing of the guard, get a chance to take that little train and ride up to the Rothschild Villa and Gardens, or you can go into the Monaco Palace. You choose. It's a choice on tour. You pick one or the other. Another thing we're going to do on this trip in Graz, we're going to take you to a perfumery where you'll get a chance to create your own fragrance. And then you'll get a chance to experience this beautiful mountaintop village with the wall around it. Also get a chance to see where the film festival happens in Cannes. Free time suggestions in Nice, again, shopping at the flower markets or experience the shopping center. There is an optional excursion to go into the Italian Riviera if you so choose. And then St. Paul de Vence, where you'll have a very nice walking tour of that amazing city. You'll have a very nice farewell dinner and then depart out. There is a Paris extension. Your hotel is walking distance from the Eiffel Tower. And so amazing tour. Like I said, more to come on that one. You can put a generic deposit on either one of these. You can do a minimal deposit if that is of interest to you. Like $100 or so to guarantee your spot on one of these two tours, these last two tours, because they're still generic. Last one we'll talk about is Christmas in London, 7 days, 9 meals. Again, one hotel stay. And they started something new this past year with the Christmas market, so you'll get a chance to experience that as well. Also, a 37-passenger tour and activity level of 3, again, as is most of Europe. So we're going to take you out, show you their open air markets as well as the Christmas markets there. You'll have a very nice welcome dinner. You'll experience Buckingham Palace. You'll also head out and see Trafalgar Square all lit up. We do take you back in the evening time. You'll get a chance to see, hopefully, the changing of the guard, weather permitting. Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. Just out of view in this picture, just to the right, is the London Eye. And if I were going to do that, especially this time of year, I would do it before 4 p.m. because it's inevitable there will be a London fog. There is a double-decker bus. You can buy unlimited 2-day hop-on, hop-off. It's roughly 38 pounds, and it goes to every one of the sites I just mentioned, including the Theater District, Harrods, etc. And it comes every 15 minutes. So you can get off and visit somewhere you want to go into, see Big Ben. And all the museums are free, by the way, in England. So you can go up and physically see the bell, Big Ben himself, in the top of the bell tower there. So Covent Gardens, get a chance to experience that. Also travel on the Thames River. All of the streets aligning the Thames are named after British victories over the French. And then travel out into Greenwich. And so you get a choice on tour to go into the Cutty Sark Museum or the Maritime Museum. So one will be seeing the beautiful ship or the Maritime Museum. And Greenwich will head back into London, where you will then get a chance to experience free time on your own in the local markets as well as high tea. So that's another thing that I like about this trip. St. Paul's Cathedral, where Prince Charles got married there. We'll have a beautiful farewell dinner and then, of course, depart out. Now, to reiterate some of what we talked about earlier, we'll do a hometown pickup. Anybody doing our airfare, whether you're local or not, we'll pick you up locally as a group, take you to the airport, bring you back. If you live elsewhere, so you live in Atlanta or you live in Seattle, you live in Texas, you live in Orlando, as long as you live within 50 miles of one of our major airports, we'll pick you up at your house in a sedan, take you to the airport in the same fashion. Our passport club, we automatically enroll everybody into that. And basically, the more you travel, the more you save. And so you get 5% off your next tour based on the price of your last tour. So that's a very nice perk for you there. And we also give you AARP discounts as well. So if that applies to you, you can get that as well. So you can upgrade your airfare. You can arrive in a day early, stay a couple of days later, and do back-to-back tours, etc. Our insurance is unique to the travel industry in that you can cancel until the day prior to departure, get all of your money back, no questions asked, and it's medical evacuation, etc. And international travel, you definitely need a passport for international travel. The ETIAS visa is going into effect third or fourth quarter of this year. The UK already had their version of it in effect. The ETA UK has been in effect for a year. Australia, New Zealand has one. South Africa, Africa, Asia all have visas. So it's basically going to be $8 when it comes time. Let Collette tell you when to do it, but fourth quarter of 26. So any tours after fourth quarter of this year, you'll likely have to have this visa going to Europe. $8. You take a selfie of yourself, you lay your passport or your phone on top of your passport, and it links itself to your passport, and it just verifies that you are who you say you are. Again, it's $8, and it's good for several years, so you don't have to worry about paying for it every time you go to Europe. And then in our brochures, we don't penalize you for using your credit card. You can make your payments along. There is no set payment structure as long as you are paid off by 90 days prior to departure. The deposit on most of our tours, all of these tours that we talked about today, is going to be a $698 deposit that guarantees you a land and air seat on the tour. And then again, the final payment will be done roughly 90 days out. If you want the insurance, as long as you purchase the insurance before the deposit due date, you are fine. On most of these tours that we talked about today, it should be $549. That guarantees you, again, cancellation for any reason, as well as the insurance itself. Thank you so much. It was a lot of information. I tried to keep it under an hour. And thank you again, Greg, for having me. Any questions that you may have, please let me know.
Yeah, and if you do have questions, we have a few minutes with Jack left. So I do want to say we have a group now that's leaving tomorrow on one of our trips that has 10 individuals to Tuscany. So looking forward to that, looking forward to experiencing all of that. These are specially curated for our alumni. Jack and I really sit down and we are very precision pointed on what we pick. The question we do have about Iceland: are there options for renting outwear, boots, etc., instead of purchasing them in Alabama and taking them up?
So, not that I am aware of. What people generally do is they buy those cramp-on. They buy them on Amazon. They're like $15. And some folks will go to Walmart and buy those $8 water boots, those cheap ones, and they just leave them over there at the end of the tour. So, I mean, really, I'm sure there are outfitters because there are people that do other things that would probably rent them to you, but I do not know of any that we have worked with.
And we do have a couple of questions coming in. Betty Warren, she missed the Hawaiian presentation. She came in just after that as we were talking about Ireland. Betty, go ahead. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for you. And if anybody wants to watch a replay, we will have a replay available. The goal is later on today to get it online and out to everybody. But the link that I just sent and dropped in there is one specifically for the Hawaiian Adventure in January, which we already have individuals registered for that one. So the question is this for alumni only, or can family or even friends go? I'll take this one, Jack, and I know you'd agree with me. I want you to experience this trip the way you want to experience this with you. It is open to family and friends. We've had many family members, many friends come on. So one of our past presidents of the National Alumni Society, they went on. They're actually both past presidents. they brought several friends to Ireland back in 2024. So completely up to you. We want you to enjoy this as you would a normal vacation, really. So Jack, man, it's been great having you back. I don't see any other questions. For those that are looking for more information, visit our website. It's easy, alumni.uab.edu/travel. That'll show you all of our travel opportunities that we have. We have some others through some other vendors right now as well throughout the end of the year, but you can find all of those here. And there's a question coming in. How often do you repeat trips, locations? Will there be another Tuscany? Most likely. It was a good trip to put together. We had good response with that. We try to let it breathe for a year or so. But if you get 17 people to say, hey, I want to go to Tuscany in 2028, let's make it happen. But Jack, thank you so much for being here. I know you were stuck in traffic, so I appreciate you.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. And we will see you soon.
All right, my friend.
Just a quick note for today's audience, the webinar was recorded. Once it's uploaded on our website, you'll get an email with the link so you can revisit the session or share it with others. Meanwhile, we hope you return for these upcoming webinars. Come back on March 25th for the third part of our four-part leadership series as Dr. Alan Gorman returns for inclusive leadership, building cultures of belonging. On April 22nd, Dr. Matthew Scherer will close down that series with leading infinitely, building teams, trust, and vision. Join us May 13th for Fueling Discoveries, Libraries at the Heart of Learning, as we share how libraries are central to lifelong learning and community engagement and how you can get involved with UABs. And finally, we'll welcome Dr. Joseph Capiano on May 21st when we host Stronger This Summer, Nutrition, Exercise, and Safety. You can register for all these and more by visiting alumni.uab.edu/events. As we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps us improve and shape future webinar topics. Just scan the QR code on your screen to access a brief survey and share your thoughts. Once again, thanks so much for joining us. And as always, go Blazers.